I'm excited to let you know again about my new book. It's already been out for a month, but it's been exciting for me just to get the word out. It was 25 years ago that I really felt from the Lord that I would be writing 3 books by the time I was 50. And just in January, we released my 3rd book. It's called A Fresh Look at Fear: Encountering Jesus in Your Weakness. As I've traveled these many years around the world, I have realized that fear is a major, major issue. I as well have struggled with fear throughout my life. In this book, I simply try to tell my own story. It's a story that's very raw and very real. I'm very vulnerable about the fears that I faced in my life. And the book doesn't really give a clear answer outside of the person of Jesus. And when we look at fear, is getting rid of fear really what we want? We say it is, and we look at any way we can to get rid of it. But in my own life, as I've wrestled with fear, I've realized that there's something deeper. And it's simply that I want peace, joy, and contentment. Well, is getting rid of fear the quickest way or the main way to get that? As I've walked this life and ran to Jesus over and over and over again, I've realized that Jesus brings this peace, joy, and contentment that I long for. I've openly shared a lot of my stories in the book, but definitely the greatest time of fear in my life came when I was put in prison in Iran. Especially in the first couple of days, as I was incarcerated for no reason, I will never forget what happened to me. I would sit and shake uncontrollably for many, many minutes, hours. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I would lie down for 5 minutes and then have to get up. I wasn't able to eat. I would just sit and shake. I never knew why I was there. I never knew how long I would be there. Fear overtook my life. I would just sit there and shake, and it ended up going on for 2-3 days before I could even, just function. I knew fear. I knew that fear was real. It was from that place of deep despair that I began the journey of discovering Jesus. He began to meet me in my darkest place. I began to find that He was bigger than my fear. I think that was the greatest challenge, was that fear was greater than anything I had known or experienced about God and His love for me. But it was there in prison that over time I began to experience the love of God, experience that He was greater than I had known before. And in the part of God I didn't know that was greater was actually the ability to bring me peace and joy and contentment over the fear that I was facing, over the fear that was seemingly disabling. I found that God was better and God was bigger. I've written this book specifically for those that wrestle with fear. I've written this book for those who, in their journey of dealing with fear, have found it maybe hard to find a quick fix, or they realize they still struggle with fear. I've written this book especially to those who are coming out of high school and college in the years of just deciding what you want to do with your life, and in the journey of massive decision makings and all the fears that come along with it. I've just written openly about my own journey, and my hope is that as you read about it, it'll give you hope in your own journey, that you can find Jesus in the midst of your fear. I'm excited to get this book out. I hope to spend a lot of this year promoting it. I'd love for you to get a copy. You can get it on Amazon, get it at YWAM Publishing, or even write to me personally. I'm excited for what God wants to do in helping people find Jesus in the midst of their fear, and in doing so find victory over fear.